back to Colorado Sports Connection. We're talking with Denver Broncos cheerleaders Katie Kosters and Jessica Flores. Now, Katie and Jessica, one of my questions for you is that aside from the cheerleading alone, you guys have a lot of responsibilities for the community and representing the Denver Broncos. Talk a little bit about your community work that you do for the Broncos.
It's definitely, I look at it as one of the most rewarding parts of the job. It really makes it. It's a lot of us are Denver Broncos cheerleaders. We use the name as a platform to do good in the community. It's an opportunity to get involved and give back and get to know fans and people, members of the community on a more personal level, and put a smile on the faces of people who may not be having such a great day.
And what about for you, Jessica?
I mean, it's definitely one of the biggest parts of our job. Is everyone thinks that we just do games. That's all we do. But we literally have charities probably twice a day, and each girl is going at least once, twice a week, every once in a while. And we do a lot for our troops, and we go to Fort Carson, and we go to the Air Force Base out here, and even just going to see them and like talking to them for an hour is so rewarding on this team.
Now talk about the hours. I think we were talking off air, and it was like, what, 1,000 to 1,500 hours that you guys put in?
Yeah. We put in about 1,500 hours a season, divided between 26 members of the team.
Wow.
And one of the events that we do, that we all participate in every year, is Craig's Hospital. It's a brain and spine rehab hospital in Denver. And we go and we dance for the patients and sign autographs, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's very grounding. It's just one of those things that makes you appreciate the ability to walk, to get up out of bed every day, and it's something that we all really enjoy.
You know, I was talking with a few representatives from Children's Hospital and asking, you know, what can we do to help? And it was amazing how they said the best thing that anyone can do is put a smile on a child's face.
Right, make them forget for even just that moment that they're not in the hospital.
Exactly. And then what is it like when you go and you talk to the troops?
It's hard. I think just hearing their stories, and at the bases out here, nobody's from Colorado. So you're like, oh, where are you from? And they name somewhere, and you're like, oh, and they all get shipped here to train and go through basic training and all that, and then they go out and fight for us. And I don't think you could thank them enough. And they sit there and they're like, oh my gosh, like, thank you so much for coming and meeting us. You've made our day. And we're like, you're saving lives for us. Like, thank you. So it's awesome to get to talk to them.
Now, when you talk about hearing the stories that they tell you, can you give us an example on what stories they tell you that uplift you guys?
Just, you know, there's a lot that have come back from the war, and they were out there fighting and have newborn children here the whole time, and just to hear that they have families to come back to and have support here, I think that's the greatest thing to hear. You know
what's always amazed me, sorry about that, what's always amazed me is that how they're so appreciative for, you know, for not only you, but other entertainers that come out and support them.
My biggest experience with the troops and talking to the servicemen that we're put in contact with is learning about the sacrifice that they put forth for our country, and it goes right back to that. They're so appreciative of everything that they have, the time that they get to spend with their families, because they truly do. They sacrifice everything. They go overseas and they, you know, spend holidays away from their families, and it's something that we have no concept of on a daily basis.
Now, did you guys have any family members that served in the military at all? Or?
I did, yes. Both my grandfather and my father were servicemen.
Okay, so that must take a special meaning to you when you have the chance to go out there and...
Absolutely. In my childhood, it was, you know, it's a little bit farther removed because my dad had put in his time before I can remember. But my grandpa on the other hand has been a lifelong serviceman.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. And then when we come back, I want to talk to you guys about, especially if there's some people out there, some young girls, on what it takes and how to prepare to become a professional cheerleader. When we come back, we'll continue our talk with Katie and Jessica right here on Colorado Sports Connection.